Now it's time to induct our third Hall of Fame inductee for 2025. To announce that person, well, you can imagine who it might be. It's time to welcome back to the stage once again your favourite, Duncan Wood from the TCT Group. Yeah.
Right, our third inductee of the evening really needs no introduction. However, it is my job to give him one anyway. A 33-year veteran of the additive manufacturing industry, our third nominee is a prominent industry advisor who shares his knowledge widely. An individual who truly understands the potential of AM and always carries the flag for our industry. He is the founder and president of his own technology consultancy and works with companies to help them achieve success in additive manufacturing. He is an accomplished writer and speaker, sharing his extensive knowledge and educating the AM community at trade shows all over the world. He has served on the board of the AMUC group and as its AM industry advisor and on the TCT Expert Advisory Board. He is an advisor for the Rapid Plus TCT conference and he's also served as the chairman of the SME RTAM community. A true advocate of our industry and a hugely deserving inductee this evening. I've had the privilege of introducing him to audiences all over the world as a regular contributor to our programs, but this evening it means a little bit more. Please welcome Todd Grimm.
All I can say is wow. I'm so honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's a prestigious award. However, I'm quite shocked and surprised. For several years, I've attended all of the TCT Awards that we've had. And for several years, I allowed myself to hope and dream and wonder, could it be me? But last couple of years, I gave up on that hope and dream. Figured that my time had passed because there's so many bright stars, innovators, and fantastic people in this industry. How could I be picked out from all of those people? So I'm surprised. I'm also here by chance. Back in 1989, I stumbled on stereolithography and became enamored. Fantastic technology. A few months later, I read an article in a magazine about a company, a service bureau that was founded, the third in the world. It just so happened that my former manager was one of the co-founders. I picked up the phone to him to congratulate him on getting involved in such a neat, cool, fantastic technology. By the end of the call, he offered me a job and a 50% pay cut. I took that job, and that was the beginning of my additive manufacturing career. And that chance that happened is what put me here on the stage today. I can't be more grateful for that call. I'd love to recognize individuals who have helped me along the way, but there's far too many. You know, advocacy was mentioned. That is, or has been for me, what I've been doing for 23 years, but the information I have is aggregated. It's distilled and then turned into stories that I tell, and it's aggregation from the AM community. So it's all of you that I've conversed with and talked about the trials and tribulations in the industry, the wins, the losses. It's on your shoulders that I stand. I also want to recognize 3 organizations who collectively have introduced me to fantastic people who have become friends, collaborators, confidants, and deep connections. The first and oldest for me is SME with the Rapid Plus TCT event, then known as Rapid when I got involved. There's people in this room. Shaku, who was inducted, is also part of that community, and that's where I first met him. So building foundations there, which then led me into Additive Manufacturing Users Group. Because of those connections through the Rapid activities, I was drawn into AMUG. And there I met one individual who was really influential in me standing on the stage, and I'll get to that name in a second. But the third organization is TCT. I'm an American, and unless TCT drugged me out of the States and gave me global visibility, I don't think I'd be recognized. I'd be lost in the pond with so many bright stars. So thank you, Duncan and team, for that. And the individual that made that happen, I made the connection at AMUG. We became fast friends. Regrettably, he passed early last year. He's a former nominee for the Hall of Fame. His name was Graham Tromans. Graham rang up TCT, specifically Duncan, after meeting me at an A-Mug and hearing me speak from the stage, and said, you need to get that gent across the pond. Duncan heeded the call, and since then I've been attending TCT every year for the last 14 years and taking the stage, headed to Asia with you and writing for the magazine, so German exposure and other Asian exposure. So thank you for that. Now I do promise you that I'll remain humble. And I can guarantee you that because of my wife of 29 years, who's put up with me talking about additive manufacturing ad nauseum and her eyes glaze over for those 29 years. Well, when I got the news that I was nominated, I ran to her to tell her to share this exciting news, and her response was, who, you? So she will keep me humble. And when I get home tonight, back to the hotel room, I'm gonna pick up the phone and say, yes, me. TCT, thank you so much for honoring me with this Hall of Fame induction. So thank you very much.